Oh, that's me.
Turn your mic
I
off.
am. Hello? Okay, we gotta fix this. It's the Wizard of Oz.
Over.
Just mute it.
It's still going.
Ah! Mute your computer. Oh, glad the video quality is better on my screen.
It says the actual recording quality is higher than what's showing on this one. So.
Okay, is there an echo? Still an echo. Oh, it's not recording through my computer. Like the sound isn't coming out of my computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me just leave here for a second. No, actually, right now it's just not here.
There we go. Hello?
Is it recording from here?
I can't hear anything though.
Muted.
Nope.
Is your volume on?
Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so you can hear me. Alana, will you unmute yours really quick? Did you join?
Yeah. Put my volume up or unmute?
Unmute. I just want to know if you can hear me as I speak.
Yeah.
HubSpot basic. Okay. Just testing our feed here. We're all working from the office. We'll get started shortly.
Maybe leave and come back. I don't know.
Okay, we're back, baby. And then, Shai, show me how I share the presentation.
Yeah, just click share down at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And then click screen or presentation.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, girl.
And then is it recording?
Yep, it's recording. That's how you know because you have that little red dot.
Okay. Awesome. We love it. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Grayson Fesperman. I am the digital sales manager here at The Digital. I've been with The Digital for over 5 years, and I love all things HubSpot. I love the tool from a marketing and sales and service standpoint, and often when I'm going to different digital marketing meetups and different, conferences, it's a really common theme how HubSpot just continues to grow and enhance their platform. So I'm really excited to be going through doing an overview kind of update of HubSpot. A lot of this stuff is going to come in from a lead and a day-to-day management perspective. I'm going to share some resources that we have. So I'm going to jump right into it. Just some quick housekeeping here is, please keep your camera on mute. If you have a question or anything like that, be sure to throw it in the chat. Cheyenne's going to be running the chat, so she'll definitely interrupt me or find a great spot to be able to jump in so I can answer those questions. And then also, if you would like a copy of this slide deck and the video recording, please make sure to note this email here. It's Cheyana, SHYANNA, at thedigital.com. And make sure there's 2 E's in that. The. Okay. And just a quick overview of the digital. We have been in business for over 21 years. So if you're local here to Raleigh, we're 3 or 4 blocks from the Costco right off of Wake Forest Road in Falls of Neuse. Like I said, we've been in business for over 21 years and we are the highest rated Google agency in our area here in Raleigh. Very proud, and we really love that our clients, continue to really grow their businesses from the strategies and the custom web solutions we create for them. So we are a full turnkey digital solution. We're known as the SEO web design company, really focused on clients that are wanting to turn their online digital presence into a 24/7 lead magnet tool for their business. So whether that's building them a website custom from scratch that's set up from the very beginning to convert to your audience, or if it's implementing a CRM such as HubSpot, like we're going to be talking about today, or if it's the ongoing strategy, whether it's paid advertising, organic search efforts. We really do all of those custom strategies to help our clients really grow in their markets and capture that market share. So again, I've already done my intro, but my email address is grayson@thedigital.com. And so, just a really quick, brief overview of HubSpot. HubSpot is an extremely robust CRM. A CRM stands for a client relationship management tool. It's essentially how you, a business owner, or you, a marketing manager, or you, a sales manager, or operations, whatever your title may be, it allows you to establish a leads process for your business. If you are someone who is still utilizing spreadsheets to make sure you're overseeing your leads, that is definitely something that we'd like to help you with moving into 2026. All of this stuff is digitized and can be automated from your business. So, actually establishing a leads platform, and in conjunction with that, when you have a platform, not only are you able to oversee data and track all client communication, that means that you're providing better customer service. You're making smarter decisions around your budgets because you're able to track all of the data. You're able to really scale your marketing and the results from that because you can send out, emails from a sales perspective or automate things, whether it's a new contact form submission, making sure you have 4 to 5 touch points, set up through an automated campaign. Again, additional support to make sure no leads slip through the crack, right? From a marketing perspective, connecting all of your social media, planning out a strategy and being able to create posts and schedule them out in advance. Again, from a customer service perspective, to be able to track ongoing client communication between your clients and your business. If your business has a lot of repeat business, we want to make sure we track everything, not let conversations or important information, have your team spend more time digging through it, or worst case scenario, it falls through the cracks. So, benefits in general for sales reps here, there's a lot of benefits, but more specifically for sales reps. So, if you're thinking about implementing a CRM like HubSpot because you have a large sales team or even a smaller sales team, but your goal is to grow that sales team, we have to really make sure that we're setting them up for success and really helping them, cast a wider net. So, how we do that is through HubSpot. You can automatically track every single interaction with every lead or prospect that reaches out to your business. Or if you own a retail environment, you can track exactly the traffic and where did that foot traffic come from, whether it was a paid ad, or you can track all incoming customer inquiries that come into your environment. And then once they become a customer, sales HubSpot has an entire service hub in which you can create tickets and have a full ticketing system. So again, really understanding that this tool can track every single interaction for your business. So specifically on the sales side, where are the leads at? We track leads. Again, we've been in business for over 21 years, but we have data from all of our leads going way back when. So again, on a slow rainy day, maybe it's a great time of year or a certain seasonality to your business in which you want to do some recapture leads. Incoming leads are not always, hit or miss. A lot of it is timing, but where people win are in the follow-ups. And that's what HubSpot does. It helps you create follow-ups. Also, for any outbound sales efforts, you can track that from an email tracking perspective. You can create templates that you can share amongst multiple sales reps on your team, or they can custom make their own templates. And they can essentially, add new businesses, market to new businesses, and then see the return on the investment. HubSpot tracks, email activity, whether they click on your email, whether they open it. It also tracks if they're clicking the links, whether you're adding a let's schedule a follow up call, or maybe you're directing them back to your website or your blog. It will track every single interaction that prospect has with that email and all of the value add that you send them. It's also really good for creating follow up tasks. So if a lead reaches out and a sales rep, responds back, that's a phone call and a follow up email. You know, that rep does not have to remember, oh, yeah, what was the lead that came in yesterday? Sure, I should call them. HubSpot creates a very easy button that every time you send an email, it creates a follow up task. And you can customize that for the next day, next 2 days, next week, 6 months. And so that way, every single day, you can log into HubSpot and see where you need to focus your attention. What leads are going to be following up with today, and you can prioritize that. Additionally, beyond the leads process, it can help us really create a pipeline for each salesperson on your team or for your company as a whole. When that lead goes from a lead to, okay, we're having a second conversation. So now, this lead, we're nurturing the lead. And then we get some kind of alignment, whether it's budget or project scope. And then that lead goes into a qualified prospect. And so leads are going to come in at different parts of your sales cycle. And so what HubSpot can do is it can really showcase, okay, these are all of my new leads. These are the leads that I'm working on. Out of all the leads I'm working on, these are the ones that we've come to an additional follow-up meeting, again, whether that's budget, timeline, project scope. And then it'll take it a step further, which leads are in proposal or estimate mode, or which leads have actually closed. And then which ones did we lose? So you can track, and it's just like a bulletin board. I'm going to show you guys shortly, but you can visually see, and it helps each salesperson on your team say, wow, I have a lot of leads that are at the beginning sales cycle, and I need to hit my quota. So now they know exactly where they need to focus on. For me, what leads are we nurturing? Why have we not gotten them to the qualified or the unqualified? It tracks every single interaction for every piece of your sales funnel. Okay, I've already touched on the automation, but additionally, you can integrate your email provider with HubSpot. So it's also tracking email communication from there and the CRM platform. And additionally, you can use it as a scheduling app as well, connecting it to your calendar, and you can easily create meeting links. You can create proposal links. You can customize these links to say whatever it may be, right? Sponsor, site visit, follow up, whatever it may be or pertain to your company. But you can have one salesperson, instead of working in 3 different softwares or 3 different tools, all work in one place. They can do outbound marketing, they can follow up, nurture leads, they can create proposals, deals, they can close the deals, they can schedule meetings, they can do outbound reach. It's really a one-stop shop for anyone looking for marketing, sales, or just making sure you're tracking and overseeing all communication for all of your clients and your business. And then additionally, insights and reporting. HubSpot does a really great job with providing not only those marketing insights for, outbound efforts, but it also does a really good job of tracking, what was the activity that day? How many emails did this person send? How many phone calls did they make? Who did they connect with on LinkedIn? How many new contacts or companies did they add to the HubSpot? How many of their leads moved forward in the sales process? And I can track how many times, someone has even contacted a lead, and that's a totally different conversation. But whether you're a sales rep yourself, whether you're a sales manager, or you're just a marketing manager, HubSpot provides amazing insights and reporting. So we can track not only performance, but we can also measure productivity. And we can also help enhance our team members' game by zeroing in the areas of opportunities where we can really propel and move forward. And then the last thing I'll say, as far as the benefit goes for HubSpot, they have an amazing mobile app. So if you are someone in a retail environment or have one and you have a tablet, being able to do customer intake on the spot. Maybe you're meeting someone at a networking event, or you meet someone, either way you receive a business card. You can take a picture of that business card and it automatically will load it into your CRM. So again, it's really taking out that data entry point at the end of the day. And so you can easily voice to text. If you're in a meeting, you can hit record and upload your video, your recording to HubSpot. So again, it really makes HubSpot on the go instead of being at a laptop. So again, you don't have to have pen and paper and take notes, even though I love that. But this really is a robust tool that helps the entire team. Okay, let's talk about leads. What are leads? Leads are good fit contacts or companies who have already either reached out to you or who have plans to reach out to you too. Um, Leads are different. There's different types of leads. There's cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. And what really differentiates the leads from one another is, the timeline, when they're looking to make that ultimate decision. So understanding that there's different types of leads based upon, the urgency, but different leads are not just, every contact in your CRM. They are people who are interested in engaging with you. So maybe, you've had a few people reach out to you, but it's just they're not ready to yet. Maybe they're just wanting to gather information, right? That is still a lead. That's a cold lead, but it's not a no. You have someone that comes in that is looking to make a decision by, Monday next week. That is a hot lead. But, you can label contacts in your CRM, other than a lead. So maybe this person who's interested in, attending your events or signs up for your newsletter or really likes your blogs or your YouTube content, that person would be a subscriber, versus a lead. And so it's really important to mark the difference between leads and subscribers. Or maybe you have a referral system, marking the difference between a referral and a lead. Now, a referral can be a lead, but understanding that you can categorize all of the contacts in your HubSpot based upon different workflows and different audiences. So just remember that leads are action-oriented opportunities, not the person or the company itself. It's really important to internally make sure that everyone is aligned on lead definition and understanding how you prefer to receive lead intake. Now, a good business or organization will have multiple channels for all different, potential leads, customers, prospects to reach out to you or to communicate and to connect with you. But, really understanding that, incoming calls, contact form submissions. So when people sign a contact form or want you to reach out to them, also getting email capture, getting people that do sign up for subscribe to your YouTube channel or your blogs or your monthly newsletters, and then having a target buyer profile. If I am a personal injury, law firm, right? And so I know that my target, audience are people within a certain mile radius and that have different types of, maybe I focus on motorcycle accidents, or maybe I focus on, medical malpractice. Having a target buyer profile and understanding who your audience is definitely a way of understanding where the leads are. So making sure that we create leads when they're ready to be worked by sales. So whether it's an incoming call, contact form submission, email engagement, or they're a target and ideal customer. How to add leads to HubSpot. Okay, here. So when we're adding leads to HubSpot, we want to make sure, and let me just pull up my HubSpot here. Okay, here's one. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So this was a lead that came in today. And so I want to create a lead for this. Okay, so this is a moving company. And so I go under the company record and I come over here to add a lead. And very simply, I go to create new. And I'm going to type in SEO and PPC, which stands for search engine optimization and pay-per-click advertising. And so it's going to go straight into my lead platform. And then here's what's cool. There's a couple of stages here. So if this was a brand new lead that I had not, reached out to yet, it would be new. Or if this was a lead that I had been reaching out to but had not been able to connect with yet, this would be attempting. But I have a scheduled meeting with this lead, so it's going to be connected. And then I'm not sure if it's a hot lead yet. I always kind of start my leads with warm, and I can always go in and adjust this lead label based after my conversation with them. And then I'm going to hit create. And so now I have created the lead here. Now what's really important is a few things. If there's a contact connected to your lead, you want to make sure that you also connect that lead to that contact. And I'm going to show you why in a little bit, because when we go into our dashboard, it's going to track all the activity under a lead. So as you can see here, let me back up. I go over to the contact record. The lead is not there. I click add. And I've already created the lead, so I'm not going to create a new one. I'm going to go to add existing. I'm going to click that, easy peasy. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to go back to my company record. And I want to make sure that the meeting I have is also tagged. So these associations here, and right here I'm in the activity field. So the activity, showcases all communication, right? If I wanted to be specific, I could go to emails, calls, all of that. So for me, I want to make sure I want to track all going lead activity. I'm going to make sure the lead I created is tagged and associated. Okay. And so really easy to add leads. And then once we go here, let me make sure I didn't hit the pause on that one. Okay, good, we're good. Okay. And then I just covered this, but making sure that, we are understanding and aligning that when you create a lead, it's based upon the touch point of that lead. So is it a new lead? Have you attempted? Have you gotten contact? If not, you're still in the attempting phase. If you've connected with them, whether it's a yes or no, it's a connected. And then from there, after you have that initial conversation with them, you can decipher, okay, maybe this person's not looking to make a decision right away. Maybe they're going to make it in the new year. Well, guess what? We're weeks out from the new year. It's not a hot lead. I would say it's a warm lead. Well, maybe this person's budget doesn't open up until spring of next year. That's definitely a cold lead, but I'm also going to create a lead for it, right? And so understanding, in organizing your leads into different data pools is really important. So I'm going to come over here and show you the leads dashboard. So when you go into HubSpot, they have this really great sales dashboard here. And let me go into prospects. And then I'm going to come over here to leads on the left-hand side. Oops, let me go back. Sorry, I was not sharing the right tab here. Okay. So what I did, if you go to and I'll start from the beginning, you go to the sales workspace. And then from there, which let me showcase this as well. You know, the sales workspace is like the most beautiful place for a salesperson to work. It has everything from leads, deals, prospecting, my scheduling tool, you know, what follow-up tasks do I have today, and then a summary of my day. And then it'll also break down guided actions. So who should I follow up with first? You know, and it'll also kind of give you over here on the side a really cool activity feed. You know, today this is who's opened up my emails, which is great. And so I'm going to go over here to prospects, and I'm going to come over here to leads. And just note, if your leads dashboard does not look like this little button here toggles it so you can have different view of the leads. I'm more of a visual person, so I like seeing like individual blocks here. Okay, and so we can take a look here and we can see there's 19 new leads. I'm attempting with 11 and I've connected with 68. So, you know, for me, I need to go through and say, okay, you know, which one of these leads do I need to focus on first? So for me, I'm going to go to the lead label. Which one of these leads are hot? That way I know out of looking at 67 leads, that could be kind of overwhelming to a person, right? So that's why labeling them hot, warm, or cold, I know exactly which leads I need to focus on first. So now I've got it narrowed down to a much smaller number, right? And then, so again, from the leads dashboard, again, we can take it a step further and we can really check out all of the different leads. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on a lead. So when you click on a lead, this side dashboard opens and it basically gives you like a little sticky note and a summary of that lead. So if I'm like, oh, I don't remember this lead. Okay, let me click on it. And it'll show me, you know, the last meeting scheduled. It'll show me the activity, who owns the lead. Great. And it'll have my notes from the call. And then also connecting your LinkedIn is an option as well. So let me go through here. And I can click on another lead and it'll pop up right here on the side. So the lead information is really great. You know, you don't have to go clicking around, looking at data from, you know, different platforms. It's really all in one spot. And you can update these leads on the spot. And these are, again, are the communication stages. Okay, creating task. So creating task is creating the follow-up, you know, and I'll show you just an example here. So if you go here to this nice little orange logo, this is going to be where your task manager lives and breathes. And so you have one tab that goes over all the tasks. Love that HubSpot does this. These are your tasks that are due today. And if I had any overdue task, it would be outlined in red there. And then it gives me up and coming task. So again, I'm not focusing on all of the tasks. I can start with what's due today, or maybe I should start with what's overdue and go from there. So whenever I go to create a task, you can go over here to this create a task button, click, and then maybe I want to do proposal follow-up, or actually let's do lead generation. Maybe I want to cold outreach new construction business. Okay, and it's an outreach, so you know I'm gonna title it a low priority. That way, you know, all of my outreach is titled low, and for me, I know when I have a few hours, I can easily pull all of those outreach activities and I can focus on all of the businesses that I want to reach out to. I'm not having to mine and use like LinkedIn or Apollo or Hunter or any of these other tools. I have everything here because I've created a task to plan for my day. And so I'm going to type in, let's do, I mean, this is a current client. So Bateman Civil Survey. So I'll type in the client, and if I don't have a contact or a company in here, but I do want to prospect a business, you need to add it to HubSpot, which is very easy. We do it the same way here. And so I want to reach out to them tomorrow. And so what it'll do, I can come over here, I can do a call, email, or maybe I want to create a task to find this person on LinkedIn that I met at a conference, right? And then obviously it's assigned to me. I can do the dates. I can create reminders. And I can make a little note for myself. So ask for referrals. And then I can hit create. And then it'll add it. So again, so it'll be in my upcoming, right? So I have it planned for tomorrow. So that's how you create tasks. And creating tasks really takes the guesswork out of your day. If you feel like the productivity level of your team is not where it should be, or maybe you feel like your productivity level, you feel like maybe you're shooting fish in a barrel, this is a very easy platform to help you stay organized and to keep you and your team focused. Okay, and we just went over where to create task. Okay, and then when we are completing task, what's really, really cool about here, and let me just go down here. Okay, perfect. So if I want to click on a task, I'll click on this one. Okay, and so to complete a task, really tough stuff here. You check it off. Feels really good to check stuff off. I love checking stuff off, but that is simple as that. So I'm going to uncheck it because I do need to call her. But that's how easy it is. Okay. Question?
Does HubSpot work with an email client such as MailChimp or Constant Contact? Or does it work with SurveyMonkey?
Yes to MailChimp and Constant Contact. Those are the two kind of main email hubs. HubSpot has a lot of really great integrations, and because it's a premium CRM, a lot of other really premium technology they want to integrate, right? The last one you said, Survey, I'm not sure. SurveyMonkey?
They probably do. It's like a third-party survey
Yeah,
software platform.
yeah. We can circle back with you on that. What I love typing into Google is I type into, HubSpot integration, and then what was it? SurveyMonkey, and then it'll tell you yes or no. But sometimes it may not have that list of integrations. But here, let me.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, thank you. My research coordinator over here says yes, they do. So that's great. So yeah, again, HubSpot, Chef Kiss with the integrations.
It's direct too.
Yep, and it's a direct into. Ooh, we love that. Okay, great. So no additional API or anything like that needed. I know I mentioned this earlier, sending sales emails, but you want to make sure that if you have HubSpot connected to your make sure it's connected to your calendar as well. So again, installing the HubSpot extension is what you need to do additionally. We've connected everything to HubSpot. HubSpot has the extension that you need to upload, especially to your Gmail or your calendar. Again, that way it tracks everything in HubSpot and in Gmail, so there's no missed lines of communication there. And again, you can monitor all of your email engagement. So that way, well, I sent it from my email, it's not in HubSpot. It just eliminates that back and forth. And I mentioned this earlier, connecting to your calendar, easily sync meetings. So HubSpot's tool is so great. Let me see if I can show you one. So let's go back here. They have a tab, and so you'll scroll down here. I just have these bookmarked because I use these the most. You'll go over here to your meeting templates, and my name's Grayson, so we'll go see Grayson. Oops, not message templates, sorry. Meeting scheduler.
Can you see the trackers?
No.
I have a question.
Okay, question?
Are there any AI features that HubSpot has that make it easier to add contacts or update lead status, etc.? We'd love to be able to talk to HubSpot and not have to do tedious typing, chatting all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question was, does HubSpot have any new AI features that help, with data entry into HubSpot, updating leads in HubSpot, and all of that? And the answer is yes. So I feel like every quarter HubSpot rolls out updates, just about like Google does as well. So yes, they have an AI overview. So if you take notes or you're implementing notes, it can summarize the entire activity. They do a lot of voice to text interactions there. So I'm going to send some follow ups. We have some resources. I was just at a big tech conference in Boston like 3 weeks ago, and there was an entire case study on HubSpot and how, the continuous implementation of new technology and slowly weaving in AI to not only write emails for you, but also with the automation as well. So, taking everyday sequences when you're setting up touch points and automating those, making those better, and finding different target audiences and prospects to add to your sequences. That's actually going to be our next quarterly training for HubSpot, is really covering the AI tools as well because I've just learned so much. So great question, and definitely follow up with Cheyenne. I'll definitely preview some of the latest resources, especially that I've learned at CleoCon a few weeks ago. Okay, great. So going back to the meetings, you can create all different types of meetings. So whether it's an intro meeting, a proposal meeting, a follow-up meeting, and again, you can edit and create these meeting links that link directly with your Gmail. We have Google Workspace, but with Outlook, Office 365, all of that. So it'll sync directly to your calendar. You can label these meetings and you can create links that you can put in your signature, or you can send out on your emails, your newsletters. You can send these meeting links everywhere. And then we went over the monitoring lead activity. So again, I mentioned, if you have HubSpot, please make sure that you've downloaded the HubSpot Sales Chrome extension. Really helps. Again, monitoring the activity, making sure we are covering all touch points and getting all qualified leads to that customer or sales status. And then making sure that if you have a website, which I hope you do if you have HubSpot, make sure you have the tracking code on your website. So, everything from making sure the contact forms are connected to HubSpot to making sure that, this tracking code can help you get notified when someone revisits your website. So I can see before, say, a lead comes in and they fill out a contact form and I haven't been able to connect with them yet. Well, their customer profile or their contact record in HubSpot, it shows me what pages they go to on my website. What case study are they looking at? What client page, what service page, what location page. That's how detailed HubSpot is. So again, making sure that everything is connected from your email provider, your workspace, your website, everything that you want to track and monitor on the social side, making sure all of your social accounts, your email, everything connected into HubSpot that you want to track. And then deals. So deals are when we take a lead and it goes from a qualified lead, meaning that this prospect or this person wants to see a proposal, they want to move forward, whatever that next step is before getting or signing, the yes. So once it goes there, we have this deals dashboard. And so when I click on all deals here, and if your dashboard again doesn't look like that, HubSpot can provide two views. Again, I'm more of the visual person, so I go for more of the visual aspect of it. But I'm going to go to my deals specifically. Okay, and make sure that you have it in the right pipeline. Okay, so that way I can track, where my deals are at. So, I have 10 that are in, the proposal stage, some that may be like the verbally approved, contract has been viewed, seen, we've had the proposal meeting, or maybe, the next column is delayed, decision delayed. Maybe they thought they were going to get budget for the end of the year. Well, now it's pushed to Q2 of next year, and then contract sign. So I like having all of these different buckets because it'll give me the weighted amount of each deal and what the projections are for what I have coming down the pipeline. So again, deals help track potential revenue opportunities. It also helps store information such as when is the close date? What is the ideal amount here? So close date here looks like for the end of the year. And this looks like a simple hosting agreement. So I can see how much that deal weighs and when it's supposed to close. Helps me project. Another one here, this looks like a small marketing project. It gives me the weighted total of the deal and when it's supposed to close. And then how you create deals. Let's see here. Let's go back. Okay. So let's go back to, let's see here. Sorry, my HubSpot is loading slow. This guy, Josh Chapman, the one we created the lead for. Okay. So how you create a deal is you can come over here to the leads and hit qualified, and immediately, just by updating your leads, you can create a deal. So I'm going to title this ongoing digital marketing. Let's say the amount is $20,000. I think it'll close before the end of the month. And nope, just me. And then if you have any support staff, you can do that there. It's a new lead, or maybe I can say if it's self-generated or repeat, what they're interested in, SEO and pay-per-click, and then the day I'm creating it, and then the contact. You want to make sure you have a contact associated, so I'm just going to type in Josh Chapman. There he is. And then I'm going to hit create. Okay, and it may take just a moment to load, but the deal, you can see. Come on, Wi-Fi. Okay. So as you can see, the lead has gone to qualified. So the lead has been worked all the way up to the deal. So the lead is completely done here. Let's see here. That did not load correctly. There we go. Now we see the company stuff popping up. Okay, so the lead is done, and now that's what the deal will look like over here. So you can see the deal is attached to the company record and the client. So now when I click on the deal here, it'll have all activity around this deal. So if you are a person or a company or organization and you have multiple service offerings, like us, we offer different marketing. We also offer custom web design. We offer hosting support and maintenance solutions. We're also HubSpot solution partners, so we offer HubSpot implementation and improvement and ongoing coaching and training services. So we have different buckets. So if I can, focus on and see on my leads dashboard, how many marketing clients do I have, in the pipeline? How many website projects do I have in the pipeline? HubSpot and beyond. So creating deals helps keep all of the project information in one place. And there's different deals, pipeline and stages, which I've covered, whether it's in the discovery stage or maybe we've gotten a verbal or a budget alignment. And then there's the stage where it's moved to qualified, and then we've either closed and they're a customer or we've lost. And I just showed you guys the deals dashboard. That's again going to be where you can visually see and navigate your leads pipeline. Okay, and so if you're interested in HubSpot, just a quick reminder, the digital is a HubSpot solutions partner. So, what that means potentially is, we deliver a personalized strategy, not just HubSpot software support. HubSpot reps can explain the platform, but they don't necessarily build the strategy that's tailored for your day to day business. So, working with a HubSpot solutions partner like us, we're actually giving you both. We're giving you the tool and the strategy, again, not just the product. So, we conduct audits, enhance and implement the CRM, the website, the workflows, set everything up from lead generation. We can help design and connect and optimize the marketing and sales operation strategy. Build implementation roadmaps that HubSpot may not provide. Ensuring that your portal and your dashboards are an exact tailored fit for your business model. It's kind of like buying a tailored suit or, shopping off the rack. Hey, I love both. But, working with someone that can help you in all facets of your business, not just the tool, that's the biggest benefit. And then lastly, we have better pricing guidance and guidelines. We've done everything from sales, marketing to enterprise level HubSpot implementation, as well as Service Hub, so creating ticketing systems. So a lot of times we can really help negotiate better deals and again help make sure that you are getting exactly what you need, not you're not going to over purchase all the tools. If you are using it for X, Y, and Z, we help our clients decide which level or which tier of HubSpot is going to be the best for them. Again, the goal here is to help protect you from overspending here and to make sure that your marketing or your implementation dollars, the investment you're making in such a robust platform like HubSpot, is fully integrated with your business. Often when I'm speaking with managers, directors, business owners, is they purchase these really expensive tools for their business, but they feel like their team doesn't use it or they don't know how to use it, right? So again, partnering with someone on the full aspect of that. And then if you're just interested in learning more, I have all of these really great links. We have a fantastic YouTube channel. We do, different HubSpot hacks and videos. We also do podcasting, as well as we have these free monthly training. So the last ones we did on HubSpot was more from a marketing standpoint, is making sure from a lead generation, your website and HubSpot is set up from the contact forms to the automated workflows. So we're going to be covering something a little different in these HubSpot trainings each and every quarter that we meet. But just know you can access the previous ones. I did one on coaching sales reps and how to move that forward. So again, we have lots of really great resources for you here. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. That's it for the presentation. Again, if you would like the slide deck, be sure to email Cheyenne, and that's SHYANNA at thedigital.com, and that's THEE digital.com. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. If not, I look forward to seeing you guys next time.